Citizens are raising 50 to 60 issues as the National Advisory Committee on Constitutional Reform continues to gather views. According to Dr. Terrance Farrell, a member of the committee, the issues largely focus on establishing greater accountability and instituting more representation in the government. For more details, check out this report.
Already, the National Advisory Committee on Constitutional Reform has gathered hundreds of views from citizens. But as they continue, a member of the committee, Dr. Terrance Farrell, says a common theme is emerging.
They range from the presidency, people talking about whether you should have an executive president, the president should be elected, directly elected, but they're talking about term limits for the prime minister, they're talking about the power of recall, that is to say people want the ability that if their parliamentarian is not performing, they want to be able to pull that person back and put somebody else in their place.
The views do not vary too much from the 4 previous attempts at constitutional reform, according to Dr. Farrell.
And what we see is there's a certain consistency in terms of what people are asking for. Clearly, people want better representation. Clearly, people want a more democratic society. Clearly, people are very concerned about prime ministerial power and how that is organized, or executive power, I should say, and how that is organized.
Dr. Farrell said that as part of the process, they are paying close attention to how people want the THA and Tobago to be handled by the Constitution.
And we have the 2 bills that are before us in Parliament. We know that there's a range of views in respect of what's happening in Tobago. So we are coming to Tobago to hear from Tobagonians themselves.
With this being the 5th attempt at constitutional reform, the public expresses a level of skepticism, which Dr. Farrell believes is warranted. However, he noted that it should not discourage citizens from submitting their views. He explained that it is the committee's job to compile the views.
We will articulate those. We will ensure that the recommendations are coherent. And we will present that, and then it becomes a responsibility of the people of Trinidad and Tobago to impress upon the current leadership, both in government and in opposition, that these are the changes that we would like to see.
In January, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley announced public consultations on constitutional reform and appointed Dr. Farrell as one of the members of the committee to lead the process. The committee is expected to submit a report in June, after which the cabinet will decide on the way forward. Candice Jackson, Tobago Updates, Television News.